G'day, this is Captainoob, and it is finally here. Finally here in Fallout 4. This is the LAER, or the Laser Assisted Electrical Rifle. This thing comes from the DLC of Old World Blues back in New Vegas. How did it get here in the Commonwealth? Fucked if I know, but it is a nice weapon indeed. So it's a standalone, highly customizable energy weapon, and if you're familiar with this thing in New Vegas, then it actually performs quite well. This thing, in terms of Fallout 4, is balanced just a little bit below the standard laser rifle that you'd find in the Wasteland, but with the upgrades it can actually lift above it, which is great. Getting into these attachments here, so instead of capacitive, you've got the coils there for the little word there, and for the best receivers here, you can either choose enhanced electro laser or overcharge. The overcharge one will prioritize the bonus damage that you get against robots and power armor users, but for better overall damage, the enhanced one is better, but it does lack a little bit more in the power armor and robots dependency. Now, for the barrels, you've got like 5 different sort of barrels here. So you've got the standard one, repeating one for better rate of fire. This one's more like a sniper barrel. That one's a shotgun, and this one fires like electricity that bounces off targets, which would be great for crowd control, would you believe? And an improved variant of each of these. So what I want to do is grab one of these bad boys first. We'll grab a few of these things and with different barrels so we can try them all out. But for this one, we'll just go ahead and chuck on the sniper barrel there. Now for the grips, I want to chuck on a wood stock there, but you can put a pistol grip on that, which is pretty good. Obviously, that'll probably give you the enhancement of gunslinger instead of rifleman, so if you're a pistol person, you can probably get away with using this too, which is great. Righto, so we'll definitely go for the wood stock there. And for the sights, you can have this like it is in New Vegas and have no sights. You can have brass sights for some cobbled on iron sights, which actually look kind of well. They've got glowies there, lens array, which is probably just a reflex sight, and I feel like that is probably the best we can do, although those scopes are actually looking kind of good right now that I remembered sniper is a thing. So we'll go for a ×2 scope there. That shouldn't give us any trouble. Now you can have a bayonet there, which it's like a taser on the end of that, but obviously the barrel is far over that, so I'm doubting that's going to be useful, but it does cut down on your range only slightly, so you know what, we might as well chuck that on. I don't usually have bayonets, but yeah, there you go. Now, this is where you can get even more damage out of this. The coil body is better for automatic fire as it enables it. The standard body is just what we have. And the shielded body slows down your rate of fire a bit, but you have better sort of things with it. Also, I lost an attachment slot there for some reason. Interesting. Now, for the skins, since we've got LAER here for the railroad, we'll have a nice little electricity railroad scheme on that. And that should be good. Yep. That's about it. I think I lost something along the way there in terms of changing this thing, but you know what? I think we'll be fine with this. Let's go into Gunner's Plaza and shoot people. Okay, here we are in Gunner's Plaza, and this is what their layout looks like in first person there. Looks great. The scope is a bit glary, and when we get into actually firing the thing, it'll almost become unusable at some point. But we'll get to that later. So this is what it looks like in third person, just with the sniper barrel. Looks pretty good. We'll switch over to the standard barrel there. That definitely looks great. Definitely looks very modernized and up with Fallout 4 standard of overhaul graphics, which is great. This is the one with the automatic barrel there. Looks pretty good. Nothing too much to say about that one. It's got a reflex sight on it, which it has the same sort of issue of being glary at times, which is a shame. But switching over to the fourth one, this is a shotgun. It's got a little glass tube over the Tesla coil at the end, which completes the weapon. You couldn't see that in the preview transform in the weapons thing, but now that we can see it, yeah, that definitely looks a whole lot better. And last but not least, we've got the Tesla one that'll bounce off walls and that. So yeah, that definitely looks good there, and I do love all of the 3D, the moving parts on the weapon there. I'm not sure how they've done that, but that's definitely impressive. So we get stuck into these gunners first off, and seeing as this thing is only on par balance with a laser rifle, we'll go ahead and pop some sneak attack crits with that, and there you go. There's the little effect of this weapon against humans. You can actually paralyze people whilst using crits there, and we actually managed to kill that guy by hitting him with some sneak attack crits, which is great. Now, the sneak attack crits are different to the regular crits in this game, but if it was Fallout New Vegas, I could paralyze them with sneak attack crits all the same. But yeah, crits have changed here in Fallout 4, as we all know. But anyways, in terms of performance, it's going okay. It could be going better, but we are playing on the broken difficulty, so I'm not going to hold up it against this weapon if they've balanced it for vanilla and not for very hard difficulty, because none of the weapons need to be that, or they'll be overpowered in any other difficulty, so that's understandable. Alright, we'll switch over to our regular barrel one there, and might I say that reload animation is great. We'll get nice and close to these gunners and see if we can't paralyze them with the stun bayonet there, not baton, bayonet. And with the 40% chance to stagger them or stun them, it's a good idea just to hit them like that, and when they're down and completely defenseless, you can just go ahead and shoot them nice and easily. Obviously, with the standard barrel and the better capacity here, we can get much better rate of fire and probably better DPS, but at the cost of damage per shot, so it does cut down on ammo efficiency a little bit, but I'd say this is overall better. Okay, this is the automatic one with the reflex sight. Now this is where the sights get a little bit unusable. Now we're in the dark here, so it might be a little bit better during the day, but as you can tell, as soon as you start shooting, your target is obscured and it's really hard to stay on target there, because look at that, you can't even see. I'm lucky that I do have the intimidation perk on, because that's actually helping me stay on target with that little square that pops up over your crosshairs when you go ahead and look at people. And it is worth mentioning this gun does a little bit of damage over time, but nothing really to write home about. Nothing on the scale of the wounding effect, but it's still doing good. So the automatic one is actually pulling in very well there. We'll switch over to the shotgun and get nice and close to these gunners and probably get them with the bayonet just so they can die. You can stop shooting at me, turret. Can I get you? There we go. Critical strike on him. And we're going into nerd rage here so we can slow down and do a little bit more damage there. Quickly reload, get right to his face and push him around, because lasers can do that somehow. Now, because of the way this weapon's effects are implemented, and I believe they look similar or basically the same to the Tesla rifle in the Automatron DLC, it does blind the player a little bit when you fire them up close there. It's a little bit more noticeable before, but yeah, I can replicate it just by shooting at the wall next to me. Okay, so this is the bouncing Tesla weapon, and it's probably a little bit better for crowd control, so shooting that single guy with it probably wasn't all that useful. Also, Captain Bridge is around here somewhere, so we should probably get ready for her at some point. We'll switch over to the automatic one. She's going to be around here somewhere. I don't want a damage over time pistol killing me. Okay, that's her. That's her, alright. Alright, now she's going for a gun bash there, which means I can go for a free crit here. And now she is down. And she'll get back up as soon as the paralyzed doesn't last for ages. Okay, we're going to need to pop a stim pack now, because we'll die to overtime damage over time if we don't. But that's a shame. I usually don't like popping stim packs because it takes all the tension out of the combat. Now you know I'm going to win. Anyways, we'll go over to the shotgun again and get nice and close as legendary gunner. Open wide, because your face is about to be lasered. Okay, we're suffering a little bit in terms of damage there, but I've got an idea. Can I bounce things off walls? Yes, I can. You don't even have to be entirely accurate with this thing. It has low damage count though. Yeah, not too great on the damage when you do that, and even with the crit there, you're not doing good damage. But you know, legendary gunners are the tankiest of gunners there, and for a little bit of crowd control, you can actually sort of do better damage all over a whole bunch of people than just the one target. So probably the better idea to get people gathered up, and obviously lower enemy level enemies will be more susceptible to all of this damage, because they don't have such a large health pool or such high damage resistance, or damage resistance that'll actually make a difference with this thing. Alright, everything in here is dead as we gone into nerd rage the second time there. So, whoops. So not in terms of damage, this thing probably not doing as much as I'd like, but I understand in terms of balance, this thing is doing absolutely just fine, and the animations, the textures, and all of that are just great, so nothing I can really complain about here. We'll move on to another thing, probably not super mutants, because I'll take bloody years to kill them. Okay, so here we are outside of Muckraft Fish Packing, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, and knowing that this thing does do a little bit more damage to robots, I thought it would be a good idea to take out some of these bastard synths there. So that's a synth assaulter over there. He's pretty high up on the levels of, in terms of synth, and he's a bit of a tough bastard, so yeah, we're doing pretty good work on him there. If I could actually hit him, he'd be dead. Now he is. Okay, now I've got a Strider coming in. They're tier 2 synths, so yeah, they're only level 13, so he'll be a pushover there. Now, Eradicators, they're the bastards you got to worry about because they're the level scaling ones. One of the few humanoid-ish enemies that do have the sort of the level scaling, but as you can tell there, we can absolutely destroy him. We can knock his bloody block off with the LAER. Now that it is, just not now that it is, that it is a good weapon for robots. Yeah, I got there eventually. Now, there usually is a bunch more synth robots around here, and I couldn't think of a better character to kill the robot synths than Ella right now, because obviously she's a railroad, and let's just roleplay for a second, because role-playing in Fallout 4 is totally a thing. It's Ella's going on a desperate mission in search of, let's see, what does this place have? Aluminium trays to free more synths. It's a totally unique and cool mission that is totally important to the railroad's purposes, and Desdemona hasn't been killed by winter already or anything. Okay, that's just a Seeker. I believe they're tier 3, and their crappy Institute rifles are no match for some old world blues madness. So we'll jump on inside and we'll kill more synths. Okay, now we're inside and it's time to kill some damn synths. There's a couple that are down there and aggroed, but we'll go ahead and get in nice and close and use a shotgun one, because who wouldn't want to go close and personal with a shotgun, right? Okay, so nothing up here. We've got a good vantage point up here, but yeah, with the shotgun we need to be pretty much at point blank to do much damage, and this is one of the weapons that is particularly blinding to the player because there's simply so many projectiles going around at once. So if you go up and shoot at something really close to you, you can see the whole world sort of darkens around you for a second. It takes a while for your, I guess, your soul survivor's eyes to adjust to the light. Now, I'm usually prepared to see more synths up here, but obviously no, there's more down there. And yeah, we'll get down there and we'll start shooting people. Okay, here we are. Now, the choice is yours and where to go. Obviously, if you've already come through here, that's the Skyrim door to get back out. And that's probably the leader over there. And would you believe he's got a LAER too? Yes, he does. Well, there you go. That's where you can find them. You can find them on enemy dudes around the place, which is good. He's got a sighted LAER. And yep, unfortunately for him, I am not as susceptible to a LAER as him. So that's fine. Alright, we'll switch back over to the sniper one, just we've got a bit more range on it. It's a little bit hard to hit these synths with this thing. I think it probably would be better with a Fallout 4 regular scope, but looks like I've attracted all the synths everywhere, so you know what? Oh, just a basic synth. What a little... Yeah, okay, we'll just take out that guy while we can. There we go. And, okay, one of them's got a super fiery weapon again. I'm not sure what causes this, but sometimes it happens when I'm fighting the super mutants. I think it's some sort of lighting glitch, but yes, the sniper one in third person is making very short work of these guys. Yes, aiming in third person is definitely the way to go when you're going with these weapons, because you will not lose sight of your target as easily. There's a protector on here, and would you believe he's also susceptible to being shocked because he is a robot too. We'll just get rid of him through there. That is totally the cheapest way. Oh yes, and here's all the aluminium trays that Ella and the railroad need to free synths and stuff. And is that it? I think that might be it. Not quite. A couple more synths. Got him killed with a sneak attack crit, and we've got another crit now, Vats bar, so you know what, we'll bust it in his face, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt that that is indeed it for the synths in here. And you know what, I'll call that a video for the LAER. So yeah, a pretty damn good weapon indeed. Excellent textures, excellent meshes, the animations are great. They're also in third person if you hadn't noticed that, which is absolutely brilliant. The bash animations are nice with the bayonet there. There's heaps of cool things about this weapon, heaps of cool attributes that'll make it sort of unique and interesting to use, which is always great to see out of weapon mods, so it makes you sort of keep them in your hard drive to just, you know, have them around, have a bit of fun with them. But yeah, I think that is enough for this. So if you'd like to see this thing in your game, be sure to check out the description below. There shall be a link down there. Oh, so there's a couple of synths up there, but you know what, they're dead anyway. So I'll call it a video there. Check out the link in the description if you want this thing for yourself, and I do highly recommend this mod. Just make sure you've got a little bit of hard drive space, because this mod comes in at about 250 megabytes, which is a little bit up there in terms of weapon mods, but you know what, those megabytes are well worth it, I reckon. Thank you for watching.